Hello everybody and welcome back to the Xbox One Bullrun. Now, I know I said it was going to start yesterday. I'm sorry, it had to be delayed. It's not being canceled, thank goodness, but it's just being delayed. I kind of went in blindfolded, not realizing that I was going to need a lot more time in order to make sure everything was set up properly. But rest assured, the Cruise Bullrun will in fact start. As far as start date goes, I can't say when that is, but I can say something else though. There will in fact be a date to start putting in your submissions for which vehicle in the tournament you want to be running. As far as that goes, I'm going to be setting that for May 20th. And an update on the vehicles, just so everybody knows as well. Team Saleen number 10 will not be in the Bullrun due to the fact that it is a DLC vehicle. Every car that is on the list except that one is a DLC car. And if anyone says that the Subaru BRZ is DLC due to Wild Run, you are incorrect. The Subaru is in fact available in the game normally without the Wild Run expansion pack, which means that the Wild Run will not be required. Anyhow, because the Saleen S7 is a DLC vehicle and is something I try to avoid because you never know who doesn't have access to that vehicle, and it would be wrong, to give someone a choice and then they don't have the vehicle that they want because it's a DLC that they don't have. So I'm going to instead replace it with Team Chrysler. The Chrysler 300C will take the Saleen S7's place. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. We don't have a luxury vehicle besides a Mercedes, but that's kind of a supercar. This is just a regular luxury car, and who knows how this could potentially perform. 1, 2, I mean, I needed an American vehicle that wasn't Ford, Dodge, and Chevrolet directly. I needed something a little off from that, you know what I mean? And besides, when it comes to super vehicles, we got the Mercedes, we got the Lamborghini Gallardo, and we have the Bentley. And of course, I'm going to take the Bentley to supercar, so don't disagree with me on that. But anywho, I decided the Chrysler 300C was going to be a good fit for this competition. And with that being said, like I said, May 20th is going to be the official day where everyone can start submitting, unless I say otherwise. It could be earlier, but it won't be any later. So be vigilant on my channel because you never know if I might put up a start date for submissions earlier than expected. But the most important thing is that there will in fact be a Crew Bullrun. I just needed to take a little bit more time. I've been a little lax, but don't worry, it's going to happen. And like I said, you can start submitting your vehicles May 20th or earlier, depends on when I announce it. And the Chrysler 300C will replace Team Saleen in the competition. As far as the competition, since I don't have anything to show you guys from that at the moment, I do have something else that I can for a fact show you. And that will be the challenges that I have done in my previous 8 seasons of Bullrun. 5 seasons on Midnight Club, 3 seasons on Forza Horizon. All on the 360. And I'm actually going to show you exactly how to do each of those challenges. So that way, in case you have those 2 games, maybe you can practice them yourself. Or you can just at least get an idea of what I'm going to be putting the drivers through. Now, I will also make mention of this. The Midnight Club challenges, they are considerably a lot easier compared to what I made people do in Forza Horizon, but they were still difficult nonetheless. And besides, I was starting out and I started this back when I was in middle school, so just keep that in mind. The first challenge that we're going to be taking a look at is Parking Garage Drift. In order to do Parking Garage Drift in the parking garage in Hollywood, one would have to start here at the bottom of the parking garage and go to the other side and drift their way all the way up from one side to the other. Now, the more you keep doing this on these levels, the more speed you lose, making it harder to drift, to the point where eventually you might just be turning. And these pulls don't help either sometimes. and also the corners. You have to be careful because, like I said, you lose speed. Now, when you get to the top, you have to do a big rig just like that, and go to the other side and do the exact same thing. Now, I am not the best driver on the planet. Please keep that in note, but I am the only one that can properly demonstrate these challenges since I'm the one that actually created them, and I know what I'm, well, I know how they're supposed to perform it here. And in order to finish it, that's all you have to do at that point, and the finish line is going to be going straight back into this tunnel down here. That is parking garage drift. Our next challenge that we're going to be taking a look at is Beach Blitz. Now, in order to do Beach Blitz, you would have to start here behind the building over at Venice Beach and the beach area in the nightclub. And this skinny patch of road here that is covered in sand, all you have to do is attempt to stay on it as much as possible. Now, see, everyone has asked me before, well, can I just drive on the sand? Is that a penalty? The sand is its own penalty where I don't give any time penalties for getting on it because, as you can clearly see, it is difficult as crap in order to stay on the road because of the sand. And the sand can really mess up how straight you're driving on this road. It gets really, really complicated. Now, once you get over here, you have to come to the gas station and carefully go around it without exploding the gas pumps, causing you damage and possibly increasing your time, and get back onto the same patch of road and again avoid the sand. And trust me, the return trip tends to be a little bit more difficult actually, because especially the fact that, I don't know why, but it seems like going this direction with the sand tends to make it even more vulnerable your vehicle to potentially drift out or even flip, who knows. But anyway, as long as you can attempt your best to stay on this road and stay as quick as possible coming back to the very spot where you started, and see how difficult this gets. You come back here, turn around, and you park right back where you started. The next challenge that we're going to take a look at is Chicane Drag. This one was kind of my personal favorite, and I'll show you how in a second. In order to do Chicane Drag, one would start here in South Central at the quote-unquote drag strip and slalom around these trees in this very particular order. No matter where the trees are, whether they be split by road or by grass, you need to chicane them. Except for these trees right here, the third set of trees, you don't have to worry. This is the drag part. Now you're going to go as fast as you can without pressing nitrous all the way down until you get to this point where the crosswalks are made of bricks. Now, when you come back, you are going to be doing the chicane with the same first two sets of trees as before. And the most important thing to remember, if you miss any pair of trees, that is a 5-second penalty that will be added to your total time. And I have delivered penalties on this challenge before. It can be kind of difficult in order to know, which pair of trees you went through. I mean, it's a little tough, but if you got it down, you got it down. And that's Chicane Drag. Alright, next challenge to show off. Drift and Conquer. And when you see this one, anyone who's a Bullrun fan, you're definitely going to see where I got this from. Yes, it's very similar to Drift and Smash, even by the name itself. But what can you do? I have to come up with something quick as far as a name went, so, man. Now, when it comes to Drift and Conquer, one would start here on the letters in the highway up in the hills, go straight first, and then take out these barrels right here with the front of your vehicle that are on the inside of the two sets. You'll do the same with these ones right here. Then, when you come back This time you have to make sure you use the rear half of your vehicle and drift to smash over those barrels that are back there. And if you do it with the wrong part or miss them, that was a 5-second penalty. And you have to do the same thing with these ones. Boom! Right there. This is one of my favorites. And all you have to do in order to finish is stop right where that part of the barrier ends. Alright, that was tough. Next challenge is Incline Rise. This challenge is a little interesting, and I'll show you how. In order to properly do Incline Rise, you'll have to start at the beach garage and go straight here and attempt to go up this incline, make a quick U-turn in this small space without hitting that barrel right there, otherwise that was a 5-second penalty, and then do another U-turn where this time you have a little more room to work with. Try to stay as close to the wall as possible because you don't want to be wasting too much time out there on the street or anything. You want to get this done as quickly as possible, otherwise you'd be eliminated. You do another U-turn, come back down, remember the barrels, U-turn, small space, go down, and then from here it's just, ooh, that would have been a 5-second penalty right there. Keep that in mind, everyone. I will make sure that I'll jot those down whenever I'm watching you. And then you just come back to start. That's all there is to Incline Rise. The next challenge we're going to be taking a look at is Drifter's Playground. This one is kind of a personal favorite of mine and a few other people as well. You're definitely going to like this. And yes, I know this kind of looks like a sign for a banana store or something like that. Just deal with it. Now, for Drifter's Playground, you'll be up here in the hills. And this one is very, very basic on how to do. Simply put, it's a figure eight that involves drifts. You just gotta try to avoid everything, so that way you're not stopped in the middle of your drifts. You don't end up being, twisted the wrong way by stuff. Up here, it can be a little difficult for a lot of people, and kind of for me as well. Now, just to do the whole full performance, it's 3 laps in order to complete. You just gotta make sure you do this as quickly as possible. Now, some people have tried to just say a corner very tightly without drifting, but sometimes that has actually hurt them, and it's actually been shown that drifting around here is a little better if you know how to do it, unlike me. But yeah, that's really just the simple concept, and as you can see, that's a previous competitor of mine, Chrysler. So, and you're going to see him performing something as well later on when it comes to the challenges. So, just keep his name in mind. And this right here would be the final lap. Next challenge on our list is Blackout. This one I particularly like for a specific reason, and you'll see why in a second. Now, to properly perform Blackout, you would have to start here on this ramp, turn around, and head for this particular section of the LA River over in downtown. You're going to go through this little alley right here, and then try to stop as quickly as you can in order to U-turn into this intersection of whatever this structure is called. To be perfectly honest, I would have no idea. And you have to make sure you go back in here in order to do the next proper U-turn. Then you go into this alley right here. It's very peculiar, and I call it Blackout because the challenge is only performed at night. It's just to give, the night a little reason to exist here. Now you're going to go up this ramp, and you're going to come down here and do another U-turn, and make sure you don't go into the alley. You go onto the ramp. And remember, I am not the best driver on the planet, so please excuse any mistakes that I make. Then you will go in to this particular little alley right here, and in a sense wrap the whole thing up in a nice big bow. You're going to wrap around the entire structure and just go back to start. Going back to start is something I do a lot, so you might want to get used to that. Now all you have to do is just back up and stop right there, and you're done. After that challenge, we have ourselves some of the more tougher ones. High rise. Now, this might look simple to you, the whole concept, and you could probably do this a lot better than I can, but as far as I'm concerned, this was a little tough for me. So, ease off. But anyhow, yeah, high rise. Now, to do high rise, you're going to start here in South Central, all the way at the bottom of the highway underneath it. You're going to go up those set of stairs, U-turn, go up this ramp without hitting that, hopefully, and try not to get too much air so that way you can come back down here, because yeah, that's where it can get a little tricky for people. Well, me, I don't know about you guys, but anyway, then you go down these flights of stairs, and you're done. Next challenge. Rewind. You want a tough challenge? This is a tough challenge. Try doing this one easily. And I know some people are going to attempt to do this in, an all-wheel drive vehicle if they decide to test it out for themselves and see it as easy that way. I normally was not using one of those to demonstrate, so that's probably why it's going to be tougher for me than you if you decide to go all-wheel. But by all means necessary, let's just move on. Now, we're going to be in South Central again for Rewind, and this entire challenge is going to be done in reverse. And trust me, when you try to chicane around these poles as tightly as you can, that is probably going to happen, if not once, twice at least. But if you can make it around without a problem, and I've seen it happen, especially with front-wheel drive cars, then by all means. But yeah, these reverse challenges, I will use them, I'll make them tough, you better expect them. And to finish, it's right back to start again. And that's Rewind. That was there. Anyhow, next challenge. This is a personal, reused favorite challenge. Road Hazard. This is supposed to be a traffic cone. Anyway, this is one of the more unique challenges because this challenge is going to involve a moving car. You remember Psycho from earlier? He's going to help me demonstrate. Once I, the demo vehicle, or Psycho in my place for this challenge, has reached a specific miles per hour depending on the length of the road that I tend to use, I will let you know when to go, and you will come after me and attempt to U-turn around my moving vehicle. Come back to start, turn around there, and come back for a second time. And yeah, like I said, this challenge has been reused, but this is one of the very few that get reused. And when it comes to the specific vehicle, the miles per hour that is used for it, it varies every single time. Now, once you've moved around my vehicle, then you just come back to start. Now, if you hit the vehicle while it's moving, that's your own penalty. That is your own penalty, and it can definitely slow you down. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is Road Hazard. Next challenge on our list is Drag Attack. This is the first of only 2 team challenges that I'm going to be showing you guys, which is requiring 2 members of the same super team to compete in the same challenge. And you'll definitely see where I got this one from once I show you it. Now, for Drag Attack, both teammates on one side of the drag strip will wait for me to say go. One of them will go down and drag with a member of the other team that'll be on the other side of the drag strip. Yes, this is exactly like Too Fast, Too Furious when they got the Charger and the Camaro. Or the Challenger and Camaro, excuse me. But anyhow, so you'll drag all the way down until you reach this point, which would be the barrel in the movie, but this point is the crosswalks that are laid with bricks. And then you would have to come down on the opposite side of where you started. Same thing for the person you're going up against. This was the only team challenge where all 4 drivers were here at the same time in order to get their times in. So I needed 4 different stopwatches for this, imagine that. Now, once I got done, my assistant Psycho will for a fact be driving after me. And of course the whole point of this was to have the best combined times of teammates. If you and your teammate had the better compared times together, then both of you two were safe and you would move on. If you were part of the losing pair, whoever had the slower time between the two, they were the one eliminated. But yeah, so that's how Drag Attack works. That's how team challenges work. Not all the time with everyone there, but you get the point. The final challenge from Midnight Club that I'm going to be showing you guys that is a team challenge, but is kind of unique when you see it, is Synchronizer. This was quite the unique challenge, and I'll show you why. In order to do Synchronizer, you'll be starting in this giant circle that's in the middle of the field of the UCLA campus down in South Central, which I just noticed a lot of my more tougher challenges were in. Now when you go through here, you have to first go through here and go around that traffic light, and that's it. But the whole point of Synchronizer is to not break a thing. This challenge requires you to go back into the circle and back through 2 sets of pillars and then out another set of pillars. And the whole idea of this was to not break anything, otherwise you would lose not time, but points. This was not a time run. You want to get this done as quickly as possible, and that right there would have been a deducted point. But you wanted to get this done as quickly as you could and make sure that you had the most points, you and your teammate. Everyone did this challenge individually. And just like on the other side, you have to go through both sides of these things when you go back and forth through the circle. Now once you're back in here, the last exit point is going to be here going down this direction. And I counted all the breakable things that you could hit that could cause you to lose points. In grand total, it's 40. So the highest score you can get is 40. And of course, taking down those things would cost you points. Alright, now that we got all the Midnight Club challenges out of the way, let's move on to the Forza Horizon ones. There's not going to be that many of them, but trust me, these are way tougher in comparison, so get ready for this. The first challenge from Forza Horizon now we're going to be taking a look at is Whiplash. It's my best attempt with Microsoft PowerPoint at making a whip. I kind of left myself constrained for time, so just deal with it. Anywho, this is the challenge. In order to do Whiplash, first you'll be down here in Eagle Ridge in Forza Horizon. And the vehicle I'll be using here is actually the winner of the last Bullrun that I had, the Bullrun, driven by Hostile Boy. Anyhow, you're going to go around and dodge those fences, come here, and take out one, and only one, of these umbrella sets, go through there, and I kind of messed up there, I have to turn, and go around. Now the whole point is to take down those umbrellas without damaging anything else, only one at a time, and in a specific order. Now I kind of screwed up here because I was supposed to take out the ones that are further away from me that I just passed right now, not the ones that are right there in the beginning, but you get the point of it, route nonetheless. You have to take out only one set at a time, but you have to make sure that you leave that middle set for last, because if you take out that one first, then that would be a 10-second penalty, and you'll see why once I get to it. Now, once I get to this last one over here, like I said, taking out any other one, if you take out more than one in one shot, that's a 5-second penalty, and you still have to go to the same spot as the one that you unfortunately took out by mistake. But the middle one is a 10-second because of this. At the very end of the challenge, you're going to do a 180, and you're going to smack it in reverse. That is Whiplash. Now, after that particular challenge, we have Warehouse Rumble. This is a tough challenge. If you can go through this easily, I would love to see a video of that somewhere. So if you can, definitely show me. In order to do Warehouse Rumble, you'll be over in Carson where the warehouses are. You'll start here and you'll first go through these sets of crates, kind of like a tunnel, and just try not to hit the corners because that's just going to slow you down. Now once you do your second U-turn over here, you're going to stop and watch this, more reverse, and you're going to attempt to get around through those small sections of boxes and whatnot as quickly as you can, completely in reverse, come out, do a 180 backwards, and then do it all again. And yeah, if you by any chance miss them or anything, if you need to correct yourself, you're allowed to accelerate, but you can't accelerate through the challenge. You have to make sure you're staying in reverse, and my goodness, you see the difficulty of this one. Like I said, if you can do this perfectly, or, you know, close to perfect, please send me a link to a video of that, because I would enjoy watching that. Now, once you get here, this is where you can start going straight again. U-turn, tunnel the crates. I mean, it took so long time finished. But yeah, tunnel the crates one more time, and then back to start, and that is Warehouse Rumble. Now, hopefully I do better in my next performance after that. Goodness gracious, that was terrible. Next, quick scope. This is one of my most favorite challenges of all time. I had to think of this one in a second, and when I saw what was going to come out of this, I was so happy to see what happened. It was a great challenge all the way through. Now, in order to do quick scope, you're going to be starting here near the lake, near Gladstone Creek and Clear Springs, and you're going to do a whole loop around until you get here and go back onto the dirt road, and you're going to aim perfectly straight through here to not take down any of the barrels or that fence, and take out one of the chairs. If you take out more than one in one of your shots, then that is a 5-second penalty. But the whole point is to hit one of those chairs. If you miss one, you will have to go back and hit that one along with your next shot. That's the only point where you can go for 2. But I don't think you want to do that, because that's going to be a little bit more time consuming in your concentration. And I already took the penalty because on my very first hit, I accidentally took down 2 by mistake. So you're going to keep doing this. It's kind of like reloading a sniper in a sense. That's why I call it quick scope. And you're just going to keep taking down target after target, one at a time. And you're going to keep going around looping. Trust me, when you actually see someone performing this challenge, it's great to see them like concentrate on what they're doing. And as you can see over there, Spike Dolan, I just added him as a friend not too long ago. And the whole reason why he's here is because he's going to be helping me in Forza. So, and yeah, there are team challenges that I've used over here as well, so you might want to check those out too once I get to them. But yeah, almost done here. Now, once you take down your very last target, you don't have to go back to start here. You just have to end, and man, when you get so close to hitting one of those and you barely dodge it, boy, it makes you quiver because you don't want to get that penalty. And like I said, once you take down that last target, boom, you're done. Now, next challenge that we're going to be taking a look at is Spring Shot. Now, I could have went with Slingshot, which actually makes a crap ton more sense, but unfortunately, since Bullrun already did a challenge called Slingshot, I wanted to stay on the original. So this was the closest thing I could come up with for this challenge, and you'll see why in a second that Slingshot would have probably been a better preference. Now remember Spike Dolan from earlier? He's going to be taking my spot as the demo vehicle. Now, as the challenge vehicle, this was the challenge the Valor actually won because this was the finale one. You have to start behind me, get all the way up here, and squeeze between the camera and the wall. Make sure you don't take down the camera, otherwise there's a 5-second penalty on you. Come back, U-turn around my vehicle, and make sure you don't move my car, or otherwise that can be a penalty, but luckily nobody did that, so don't need to explain it. And I don't know if I'll be using this again anyway. Now, make sure, like I said, you get between those things and you don't break anything. Almost with both of those right there. But luckily I didn't. So now you come back down here, you turn, and my hands will only be on the steering, not on the brakes, not on the accelerator. You just push my vehicle as it's in neutral, and I'll steer it so that way it stays straight. And then once you get to this checker box over here, my vehicle in neutral will go right through the camera. Whatever speed I get, I will turn those miles per hour into seconds and deduct it from your total time. And the more speed I get, the better your time results become. Okay, next challenge. And this is our first team challenge. Crossfire. And yes, just by looking at this, you can already tell this is supposed to be a figure 8 challenge. Here's the thing, once you see this, it's a little more difficult than first glance. Now, in order to do Crossfire, you're going to be starting on this side while my assistant, Spike Dolan, will be on the other. And yes, you both are going to be doing figure 8s with these kind of triangulated intersections here. But you are going to be doing it in opposite directions, and the whole point is to not smack into each other while you're doing this. And I did have that happen in this challenge. And that is a penalty in its own. I don't need to deduct any time. If you hit your teammate, that's going to hurt both of you two. And like I said, you don't want to end up being slower of the two because that could risk you becoming eliminated. And in the end, it's only 3 laps that you both have to do, and once you both have done the 3 laps, Crossfire is done. And the next team challenge that we're going to do is evasive maneuvers. This took multiple tries in order to do correctly. This is what you call a tough challenge. I mean, not as tough as the last one that I'm going to be showing you guys, but this was without a question very difficult in order to perfectly perform. But nonetheless, now Spike is once again going to be helping us with this. In order to perfectly do evasive maneuvers, both of you will start there, and this is all in cars and warehouses, and you're going to attempt to tunnel these crates without hitting each other head on. Otherwise, you can see what kind of time penalty that could be. And as you can see, my friend Zell is just sitting there watching us perform this. Now, if it's done correctly, you two can dodge each other just like that. Now, this is up in Carson, like I said, and the whole point is to dodge each other. When it comes to Crossfire, I kind of forgot to mention where that is. That section is below the Horizon Festival, near Montana Plains and Clear Springs. It's difficult to say where it is specifically. But, yeah. So, once both of you two are done with the tunnelings, we come back here to end, and that's evasive maneuvers. And the final challenge, which not only is one of the most difficult challenges I've ever created in all of my Bullrun history, this is without question the most hated challenge out of all of them. Not a single person that I've had run this says that they like this challenge in any way or form. They all don't like it, and I know why. Our next challenge is called Twin Mill. And yes, I kind of named this one after the Hot Wheels vehicle, but at the same time, it made sense, especially since we're going to be in the steel mill. This is how it looks like. In order to correctly do Twin Mill, both you and your teammate are going to be doing figure eights around the mill in reverse. This just makes for a lot of comedy when you watch it, and a lot of anger when you actually perform it. It's so difficult to control your vehicle like this, because you always have the risk of hitting something. And when you come back into the steel mill, you guessed it, you have to do your best at dodging your teammates. And it's still a figure 8 around inside and outside the mill, and it's still all completely in reverse. But if you and your teammate are really good at reverse, this could definitely make this challenge a little easier. And of course, like most challenges, you will finish where you began. But as far as this challenge goes, just try to be done as close to it as you can. Oh, poor Spike, what I put him through. He never even competed in any of these, and I made him do this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, if any women actually watch this, but anyhow, that is all the challenges that I've done in the past, so you can get an idea of what the challenges are going to look like in the future. And also, keep in mind, in the crew, Need for Speed, Forza Horizon 2, I will be coming up with more challenges that are original as well. So, you may have seen these, you may have practiced these, that does not guarantee that these will show up in any of the bull runs that I'm going to be posting onto YouTube. This is a whole different wild animal that I'm going to be starting up, so you guys better be ready, whoever's going to be participating in this. But like I said earlier, May 20th will be the official deadline date to start submitting vehicles. If I say anytime earlier, I will let you know in a YouTube video the same day. But the most important thing is that A, car submission date has been confirmed, B, the Saleen S7 has been replaced with the Chrysler 300C, and C, I will in fact let you guys know when I am ready to get it started, the whole tournament for the crew, and that will in fact be after all submissions are in. As far as those submissions too, one last note before I end the video, whoever claims a car, they will have their name attached to that vehicle, and every vehicle in the bull run will have their own series of videos posted up onto my YouTube channel, so that way you can follow each one individually, and at the same time it's a little easier for me to record, because if it's more than one people on the road at the same time, it's difficult to watch them without any kind of spectator ability. But yeah, so that's everything that I can tell you. And as for everyone who's willing to participate, get ready to become C-class YouTube stars. Anyway, this is Fireknight 3 with the Xbox One major update and challenge demonstrations video, signing out.